here I am with another one of the very quick GPU reviews I make on the channel, this time about the Gigabyte RTX 5060 Ti Eagle OC Ice. Now, as usual, I tell you guys what I think off the get-go in case you're in a hurry. So this is a very good card. I think you guys should buy it. Now let's go over this model specifically and then briefly what I think about 5060 Ti as a used PC builder also, okay? So with that said, let's take a look at the box. Box itself is cool. We give it a nice 8 for the box. Packaging inside is not the best, but hey, you're buying a mid-range GPU. What can you expect? Also, this time you don't need power adapter, so you don't even get that. You literally get just the card and a little instruction manual on the bottom. I/O is, as usual, one HDMI, 3 display ports, and we have a single 8-pin connector. This time the connector is moved all the way to the left, which makes for some challenging cable management if you're putting the card in a PC. However, this is not just Gigabyte's decision. This is 90% of RTX 5060 Ti's on the market, because they decided to cut PCIe in half, making it PCIe X8, and of course they took that opportunity to make the actual PCB even smaller. If we take a look at the card from the side, you can see that the PCB ends at around 1/3 half of the card, and the rest is a pass-through design like we are seeing on the high end, and like basically the RTX 3090 first started doing. They started the trend over there, if you remember. It's pretty interesting to see. It's also very interesting because I am getting the 60 gigabytes model. I want to point this out. I do not recommend you guys buy the 80 gigabyte model at all. I don't even think I will be reviewing any 80 gigabytes cards. I'm just reviewing the 16 because I think it's what you guys should be getting. It's interesting to see that they're cooling that fine like this, but GDDR7 is a lot more power efficient than GDDR6X. And it's also quite a good overclocker if you're into that. And if you're watching my channel, I think you may be. Now the cooler itself, again, it's quite small. I would say about the size of my hand, but I have pretty big hands, so it's not too bad. Dual fan, solid heatsink, and of course, white looks. I think the card looks very nice. It's not very long, it's not very thick, but it looks nice. If you guys know what I mean. But anyways, also runs very quiet, which we cannot say about the Ventus, at least the first models of the Ventus. Don't buy the Ventus. Now this one is the OC version, and I will show you guys in CPU-Z. They also updated CPU-Z. We can now see base, boost, and current values. Pretty handy feature. And it's just slightly overclocked out of the box, but you can do that by yourself. So it is wasted money. Don't buy it because it's OC. Buy it because it's very well cooled, as you can see by this Firestrike score and the temperatures shown. Memory is not getting hot at all, and neither is the core. They knew what they were doing when they designed this kind of cooler. Now, again, if you watch the channel, you know that you can literally in 5 minutes overclock any 5060 Ti to the same level, and then it's going to be just a bit of luck based on silicon quality. However, we did get the world record on Firestrike with this one. Again, just a bit of luck, doesn't really mean anything, but it's a good model. I also put it in a full white build with a black motherboard for contrast and some sleeved cables. As you can see, the cable management is a bit challenging, but you guys let me know what you think about how the build looks. I also have a little video called how to save money on your 5060 Ti build based on this computer. So if you're thinking about buying one of those GPUs and doing a whole build around it, you may want to check that out. I basically say that since the card doesn't draw a lot of power and doesn't get hot at all, you can save money on your power supply, case, and a lot of other components if you're smart about it or on a tight budget. All in all, the card is a very good model. It also looks kind of cool, and that's why, as I said in the beginning, gets my full recommendation. But as usual, I want to use those videos as kind of a forum also, so you guys let me know down below in the comments if you encounter any kind of issues with one of these, and let me know in general how it goes. Again, seeing how overpriced a lot of second-hand GPUs are, I think this is one of the best values cards on the market at the moment, on the brand new side, if you want to go NVIDIA. That's a lot of ifs, but it's what I think. See you guys in the next one, and if you watched the video this far, maybe subscribe and drop a like. Bye-bye.